2022 is powered by Oil India Limited in association with NPS Junior College, Mac Lasit Nagar, NEF Law College, Assam Professional Academy, RIPT Group of Institutions, and Nerim Group of Institutions.
নমস্কাৰ স্বাগতম জনাইছো আপোনালোক সকলোকে আমাৰ আজিৰ বিশেষ কাৰ্যসূচী বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠান এডুকেশ্যন এমিনেন্স এৱাৰ্ড 2022 আপোনালোক আটাইকে স্বাগতম এডুকেশ্যন শিক্ষা এখন সমাজৰ বাবে শিক্ষা আটাইতকৈ গুৰুত্বপূৰ্ণ এটা দিশ আৰু নেলসন মেণ্ডেলা once said that education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world আৰু সঁচাকৈ শিক্ষাৰ এই সমাজখনত এই পৃথিৱীত শিক্ষাৰ এটা যথেষ্ট অৰিহণা আছে সমাজখনত যদি আমি কিবা হাল সলনি কৰিবলগীয়া থাকে বা সমাজখনক যদি আমি আগবঢ়াই লৈ যাবলগীয়া হয় শিক্ষাৰ দিশটো আটাইতকৈ গুৰুত্বপূৰ্ণ আৰু সেই অনুসৰিয়ে এডুকেশ্যন এমিনেন্স ইজ টু salute the tireless efforts of all our educational institutions in nurturing and shaping our future generations আপোনালোক উপস্থিত আটাই এইখিনিতে আপোনালোকে এই ক্ষেত্ৰখনৰ এই খণ্ডৰ উত্তৰণৰ বাবে যথেষ্ট অৰিহণা প্ৰতিটো মুহূৰ্ততে আগবঢ়াই আহিছে and education eminence is a brand that is initiated by network 18 and we have already done this event in West Bengal, Odisha and many other locations and now it's time for Assam and before we start I would like to thank our sponsors তেওঁলোকৰ সহায় সহযোগিতা আমাক সদায় তেওঁলোকে আগবঢ়াই গৈছে আৰু তেওঁলোকক আমি ধন্যবাদ জনাবই লাগিব our sponsors would like to thank them Assam Education Eminence Award 2022 is powered by Oil India Limited in association with NPS Junior College, Mac Lasit Nagar, NEF Law College, Assam Professional Academy, RIPT Group of Institutions and Nerim Group of Institutions. আপোনালোকক পুনৰবাৰ ধন্যবাদ জ্ঞাপন কৰিছো আমাৰ কাৰ্যসূচী আমি আগবঢ়াই লৈ গৈ থাকিম কিন্তু এইখিনিতে আমি আগবাঢ়িছো আমাৰ এক বিশেষ কাৰ্যসূচী হেয়া বক্তৃতা প্ৰতিযোগিতা বা we have a speech competition here and for that I would like to introduce the topic first. The topic is education in Assam, the challenges and opportunities. Aru tar babe amar bisarok hisabe ei gute onkotor bisarok hisabe amar hoite ase Miss Vidisha Neok, debater and two-time winner of state level youth parliament competition under Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs. Aru logote amar News18 Assam Northeastৰ associate editor Parthajyoti Bora tekheto ase bisarok hisabe. Vidisha Neok apna সম্বৰ্ধনা জ্ঞাপন কৰিবলৈ মই মঞ্চলৈ আমন্ত্ৰণ জনাইছো News18 Assam Northeast our sales head Prashant Gupta. সম্বৰ্ধনা কাৰ্যসূচী আমাৰ পাৰ্থজ্যোতি বৰাৰ বাবেও তে আমাৰ এই কম্পিটিশ্যন আমাৰ স্পীচ কম্পিটিশ্যন আমি আৰম্ভ কৰিবলৈ বিচাৰিম আৰু সকলোকে শুভেচ্ছা জ্ঞাপন কৰিছে আমিও শুভেচ্ছা জ্ঞাপন কৰিছোঁ মোৰ ফালৰ পৰা শুভেচ্ছা
I'll speak about the topic education in Assam, challenges and opportunities. The terms challenges and opportunities are correlated to each other. From challenges come opportunities and with opportunities come challenges. Now as per the 2011 census, Assam's population was 3.2 crores and out of that 72% were literate. However, 28% were not. So here comes our first challenge to achieve 100% literacy in the state as well as our first opportunity to achieve to educate the remaining 28%. Firstly, out of the 28% we have to know how many children are there. After that we have to emphasize and enroll them into schools with various government schemes such as Beti Bachao Beti Padhao, Seva Shiksha Abhiyan, etc. There are an estimate 45,000 schools in Assam, but are they enough? Looking at the current 2% birth rate and an estimate 4.5 crores population, 9 lakh students will be ready to be admitted in schools within 2025. That means 20 students per school of the 45,000 schools. Thirdly, our schools are open with proper infrastructure, but are there enough teachers? With the TET exams happening everywhere, hopefully this problem will be taken care of. Now I would like to conclude and thank you.
Although the higher education in Assam has extended from since independence, but access to higher education in Assam is not that easy. According to an UGC report, the availability of colleges in Assam is 9.1 against the average of India, which is 8.1. Due to this, the lack of employment and the drastic dropout students has been increased. Thank you.
I'd like to begin my speech on education in Assam, the challenges and opportunities, with a famous quote by Nelson Mandela. He stated that education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. So education basically means preparing an individual for life, equip a person physically, emotionally, socially to face the challenges in life with self-assurance and audacity. Over the course of 7 decades after independence, we have seen that the education in Assam has evolved with an increase in literacy rate from 18% in 1951 to 85.9% in 2021. And this has been stated as per the reports of National Statistical Office. Nowadays we see that children from the well-off families, they get admitted into the private institutions, wherein they are provided with educate facilities, opportunities and exposure. But the problem is faced by the poorer sections of the children who are deprived of such opportunities and exposure. So the government of Assam, in order to provide them such opportunities, has implemented various schemes. One of them is the Ahom Harbo Hikha Abhijan. Apart from that, there is another initiative taken by the government of Assam, which is Arohan, wherein the children from the rural remote areas are identified and they are monitored and mentored for their academic career. There is also another scheme, Hoptod Hara scheme. So I'd like to go on to the challenges. The first challenge is that the teaching, the quality of teaching is not up to the mark in some of the areas of Assam. This is because of various reasons such as shortage of teachers, then lack of appropriate communication between the teachers and the students. Then also many of the schools are still lacking with the infrastructural ability. So with this I would like to conclude by saying that education is vital for every human being to live a better living condition, and it also helps in the economic growth and development of a nation. Thank you.
First of all, education in Assam is very satisfactory because Assam has ranked 5th position in the entire country with its literacy rate of 85.9%. The challenges are the lack of resources and the facilities. So lack of resources, we don't have much resources, like we don't have the much study field. Like sociology is one of the best subject, but unfortunately in our colleges sociology is not available. I want to make a question that what is a good education system? So a good education system is a successful education system is what it focus on the good and positive of the nation. So thank you, that's all.
Since independence, the education system of Assam has been changing many folds, and it has been continuously focusing towards the development of the society. However, just like other states of India, Assam is also having several issues in challenges of education system. So the most important is the gross enrollment rate, which has been studied to decline, and there is also equity in imbalance amongst the males and the females. So another most important thing is that quality education, which is being faced by the education system of Assam. And apart from that, I think politics is also a factor in the higher education. Like students are directly or indirectly involved in political influences, and which ultimately deviates their career and leads them to build up something else in their life. Anyways, so apart from this, I would say there is improper infrastructure in some of the cases, and there is inadequate research due to insufficient materials and skills and all these things in some of the respected fields. Thanks.
Education is the greatest weapon created by mankind that can change the whole world. A quote that has been revolving around the world since an eternity. Assam is filled with challenges. Why will I lie? But honestly, I don't feel that the opportunities are as good as the challenges that overlap the opportunities. I have learned some things when I was a kid. Milk is white. The earth is round. Humans have 2 legs. Birds have 2 wings. I would like to teach something to my future generation, that education is your birthright. You deserve it, you earn it. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
First of all, the Assam government has implemented the NEP 2020, and it's 75% implemented, and the rest is supposed to be implemented by 2040. The NEP also states that the level of education that was 10+2, like from grade 1 to 10 and 11, 12 are separated, but now it has changed to 5+3 3+4. So that there are divisions according to the educational merits, and also the teachers can focus more on the students. The dropout rate in Assam is to be decreased in this process because the teacher can pay more attention to the students in the particular sector of this education. Job opportunities in Assam are also being opened to the unemployed. The unemployment in Assam is also a big problem, and that is faced due to student dropouts. So the government is also implementing this to reduce the number of student dropouts and further enhance the job availability for students. Last but not the least, I would like to conclude my speech. Thank you.
A good education system is the key to the socio-economic development of the people. Including their physical, mentally, intellectual, and spiritual upliftments. There are certain opportunities that are being provided by the education system in Assam. The identification of the talented people, talented students from the rural, poor and remote areas by the government of Assam to give them a proper recognition. Thank you.
These 2 issues which are the challenges. The first challenges I would like to state it is that the barrier of languages, and the second issue is the lack of the infrastructure, and the third issue is the opportunity. The first issue of the language barrier, as we can see, like in Assam, there is Assamese medium school, and if they want to go for higher education, it makes a barrier upon them. Like we can take example of law. If we want to study law, we need to know English, and if they don't know English, how can they read and express themselves? And the second issue is that the lack of infrastructure in the government school, especially in the primary and the secondary. We can see in the government school that there is a lack of infrastructure, lack of teachers. We can see that there is no partition between class 1, class 2 and class 3. And the third, I want to speak about the opportunities. As compared to Meghalaya and other Northeast states, Assam is having more opportunities than other states. With this few words, I would like to conclude my speech. Thank you.
Education in Assam over the past 10 years has increased over 10% based on compared to other states. Our current Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma has been actively giving in new policies to better the situation. Recently, in the past week or so, Himanta Biswa Sharma has introduced schools for tea gardens all over Assam. The children ages 3 to 6 are most crucial in their growing up. They're the children, if they have a good strong base when they're young, that is how they'll get a good development when they're older. With this, I would like to conclude my speech. Thank you.
In education in Assam, we have come a long way from the past to the future, but I still believe that there are some loopholes in it. In the passage of time, the world is becoming global and technologically advanced, and people started focusing on holistic development. But there are some parts of Assam where traditional way of teaching is still going on. people focus on bookish curriculum and practical knowledge is not given importance in that reasons. And the second factor is flood. In the recent times, we may have seen in the news that the flood have damaged lots of schools, bridges, roads, and the students are not able to go to their schools. The students below poverty line is starving these days. They think that thus education has become a secondary option for them. And the third factor is wastage and stagnation. That means that dropout rates is higher in some parts of Assam like Dhubri, Kokrajhar, in which students are unable to pass their exam and this remains in one standard for more than one session. So this is really a serious problem. And open universities, KK Handik open universities, people age group of 30s and 40s can take education in higher levels. With that, I would like to conclude my speech. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.
Education in Assam is fairly well developed and both the government and the private sectors work on delivering an efficient method of teaching through their proper syllabus, guidelines and even practical classes. One major opportunity in education in Assam is that the state supports the higher education of girls through ensuring that each and every one receives a reward for holding a first division rank in their higher secondary education, and this has significantly increased the percentage of girls in higher secondary education. One major problem, however, is that the rate of unemployment in Assam. We see that every year numerous graduates come out holding the degrees, etc., but there are limited seats for jobs. Thank you.
So that was the speech competition on the topic education in Assam and the challenges and opportunities, and definitely all our contestants has given some challenges to our jury also. Education Eminence 2020 আমি উদযাপন কৰি আছো. So now we have a panel discussion on the topic Education in Assam, the challenges and opportunities. And we have Mr. Niloy Bhattacharjee, Senior Associate Editor of News18 Assam Northeast as the moderator today. So may I invite on stage Mr. Niloy Bhattacharjee.
The very onset, the discussion topic is education in Assam, the challenges and opportunities. The good thing is that I come from a tea garden, and only a couple of days back till yesterday only, the model tea garden high schools have been inaugurated. Since my childhood, I have seen only primary school in the tea garden, and children go to the school. Children go in abundance. The entire tea garden population, the children population, they attend the school up till class 4 and nothing beyond. So this is the state of education. But the good thing is that a lot of things are happening. The universities are coming up, schools are coming up, high schools are coming up. So বহু পৰিৱৰ্তন হৈছে, পৰিৱৰ্তন আমি দেখিছোঁ. So বিষয়বস্তুটোৱে হ'ল যে challenges and opportunities. First opening remarks from all of you. First I would like to start from Dr. Bhuvan Chandra Borua. বৰডাঙৰীয়া যদি প্ৰথম দুখাৰ কয়.
So first of all, I must say about the academic infrastructure and physical infrastructure. What you have said now, যে আপোনাৰ হেৰি আছে, আপোনাৰ তাতে আপুনি তাৰ পৰা আহিছে, টি গাৰ্ডেনৰ পৰা আহিছে, টি গাৰ্ডেনত এতিয়া এফালৰ পৰা দেখিছোঁ আমি আমাৰ ষ্টুডেণ্ট আছে আৰু এইফালৰ পৰা দেখিছোঁ আমাৰ ইনফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ নাই. আমি অকল গুৱাহাটী চালে নহ'ব, গোটেই অসমত যদি চাওঁ ইনফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ আন্তঃগাঁথনি যিধৰণে থাকিব লাগিছিলে উই ডোণ্ট হেভ. Being an academic administrator, I must say that the emphasis should be given on the faculties. First, we should give the total importance. We should give the top priority to develop the faculties. মই সদায় ক'ব বিচাৰোঁ যে শিক্ষকসকলে গোটেই সমাজ গঢ়াৰ যিটো অগ্ৰণী ভূমিকা, এই ভূমিকাটো it goes to the teachers.
হয়, ইনফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰৰ কথা যদি কওঁ তেতিয়াহ'লে আমি যিসকলে দেখিছোঁ বা গৈছোঁ USTM. So USTMৰ ইনফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ ৱাইজ USTM is very, very flourishing. Miss Mehzabin Rahman, হয় আপোনাৰ প্ৰথম দুখাৰ যে opportunities আৰু challenges.
আজিৰ দিনত এডুকেশ্যনতকৈ ডাঙৰ টপিক নাই of discussion and implementation. As you said, like United Nations কয় যে education is one of the main goal for sustainable development. When we say sustainable development through education, we call it as access, quality and equity. So এই তিনিটা বস্তু যেতিয়া আমি গুৰুত্ব দিম তেতিয়া অট'মেটিকলি এডুকেশ্যন উইল বিকাম এডুকেশ্যন ফৰ অল এতিয়া যেনেকৈ আপুনি ক'লে ইনফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ এক্সেছ উইল বি লাইক ইফ উই ডু নট হেভ প্ৰপাৰ ইনফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ জাগাই জাগাই যদি আমি এতিয়া অকল গুৱাহাটী চিটি বা লাইক আমাৰ মানে অসমৰে চিটিজ বা টাউনছখিনিৰ ইনফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ চালেই নহ'ব বা কলেজেছ এণ্ড ইউনিভাৰ্চিটিজ বা স্কুল চালেই নহ'ব ৰিম'ট ৰুৰেল এৰিয়াছখিনিত সেই ষ্টুডেণ্টছখিনিয়ে যে এক্সেছ অফ এডুকেশ্যন কোৱালিটি এডুকেশ্যন দ্যাট ইজ মষ্ট ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট নেক্সট ইজ ইকুইটি আপুনিয়ে যেনেকৈ আপুনি ষ্টাৰ্টিঙে কৰিলে ৰিগাৰ্ডিং টি গাৰ্ডেন টি ট্ৰাইবছৰ ষ্টুডেণ্টছৰ কাৰণে ইকুইটিটো education for all hey access to and that equity will have to go hand in hand and finally quality
Jitendranath Das Dangoria apunar pra dukhar prothomote
NEP after 34 years or pisot aise ar NEP jibor guideline dise jeto amar NEP boli kole ami actually eta amar guideline dise ami keneke jabo laibo keneke agbaribo kintu amar etialoke ami road map bonwa nai আমি কোনটো পথে যাব লাগিব কেনেকৈ যাব লাগিব কেনেকৈ প্ৰত্যাহ্বান ফেচ কৰিব লাগিব কাৰণ আমাৰ ভাৰতবৰ্ষত কেইবাখনো চিটি বা ষ্টেট আছে প্ৰত্যেক ষ্টেটতে ভিজন বেলেগ বেলেগে হ'ব পাৰে তাত সুবিধা অনুযায়ী কিছুমান সুবিধা আছে কিছু অসুবিধা আছে যেনেকৈ আপুনি অলৰেডি ক'লে টি গাৰ্ডেনৰ কথাটো দিল্লীত সেইটো প্ৰব্লেম অকণ বেলেগ হ'ব অসমৰ কাৰণে অকণমান বেলেগ হ'ব গতিকে আমি প্ৰথমতে আমি ৰোড মেপ এখন ক্লিয়াৰলি বনাব লাগিব
হয় নাথ ডাঙৰীয়া আমি সেই ন্যাশনাল এডুকেশ্যনেল যি পলিচি আছে সেইটোৰ বিষয়ে চৰ্চা আমি ইয়াৰ পৰৱৰ্তী যিখন আমাৰ ছেশ্যন আছে সেই ছেশ্যনত ডিছকাশ্যন কৰিম এইবাৰ আমি সেই অপৰচুনিটিৰ সুবিধাখিনিৰ ওপৰতে কওঁ এতিয়া কথাটো হ'ল যে আমি চবে সেই ইকুইটিৰ কথা পাতি আছোঁ বা হেভ আৰু হেভ নটছৰ কথা পাতি আছোঁ হেভ আৰু হেভ নটছ মানে সেই আকৌ গ্ৰাছ ৰুটলৈ যাবলগীয়া হয় যে চৰকাৰী স্কুল আৰু বেচৰকাৰী স্কুল চ' গুৰুত্বটো ক'ত থাকিব লাগে কেনেকুৱাকৈ
গুৰুত্বটো মই ভাবোঁ যে প্ৰথম গুৰুত্ব দিব লাগে কাৰিকুলাম ৰিচাৰ্চ কৰি কাৰিকুলাম বনাব লাগে কাৰণ আমাৰ দেখা যায় মিছ মেচিং হয় যে পঢ়িব এটা আৰু কাম কৰিবগৈ এটা গতিকে কাৰিকুলামত প্ৰথম গুৰুত্ব দিব লাগিব তাৰপিছতে মই ইতিমধ্যে কৈছোঁ যে ফেকাল্টি ডেভেলপমেণ্টত গুৰুত্ব দিব লাগিব আৰু লাষ্টলি মাৰ্কেটখন আমি চাব লাগিব
হয় মই মিছ মেহিজাবানীৰ ওচৰলৈ আহিব বিচাৰিছোঁ যে we were talking about the curriculum, the course. Now, yours is a private university. You have got a grade, NAC A grade. So now the thing is that when we talk about varied courses, like do you have an array of courses to cater?
Absolutely. The main objective is that only that we need to have courses which will cater to the local needs. It is research for example courses like Masters in Rural Development. You will not find these courses elsewhere. Because we have almost 80% of our students coming from rural background and we want them to education to they must develop. Hey bostutu
karone master degree kori goi pele ubhoti jabone apuni kiba eta kobo bicharisile
মই ক'ব বিচাৰিছোঁ আমি যিবোৰ শিক্ষা বৰ্তমান দি আছোঁ এই শিক্ষাৰ মানসিকতা বা এই শিক্ষা আমাক কেনেকুৱা আমাৰ যিটো ছাৰ্ভিচ ছেক্টৰত আমাক কেনেকৈ হেল্প কৰিছে মানে কামৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত আমাৰ এই শিক্ষা আৰু আমি কৰা কামৰ মাজত বহুত ডিফাৰেঞ্চ আছে আমি যিবোৰ কৰিছোঁ সেইবোৰ কোনো ছাৰ্ভিচ ছেক্টৰতে এপ্লাই নহয় গতিকে আমি গুৰুত্ব দিব লাগিব আমি আজি যিখিনি এডুকেশ্যন দিছোঁ আজিৰ পৰা 10 বছৰ পিছত সেই শিক্ষাই কেনেকৈ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীবোৰক ছাপোৰ্ট কৰিব প্ৰভাৱ পেলাব বা সিহঁতে আগবাঢ়ি যোৱাত সহায় কৰিব গতিকে সেই মানসিকতাটো বেছি প্ৰয়োজন
For now, I would like 3 of you to have very short concluding remarks on the opportunities and the challenges of education.
Challenges to থাকিবই নিশ্চয় আমি বহুত তলত আছোঁ চেলেঞ্জ থাকিবই গতিকে চেলেঞ্জ মই যিটো ক'লোঁ চেলেঞ্জ ইন টাৰ্মছ অফ দ্য ফিজিকেল ইনফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ চেলেঞ্জ ইন টাৰ্মছ অফ দ্য একাডেমিক ইনফ্ৰাষ্ট্ৰাকচাৰ চেলেঞ্জ আমাৰ বহুত মাইলছ টু গ'
So we have miles to go.
Opportunities কথা কওঁ opportunities already আমি আলোচনা কৰিছোঁ opportunitiesৰ কথা কিন্তু মই এটা কথা ক'ব বিচাৰিছোঁ যে চৰকাৰে এই আমাৰ এই অঞ্চলটোৰ লগত পশ্চিম এছিয়া এই অঞ্চলটোৰ লগত আমাৰ এটা কানেক্টিভিটি হ'ব লাগে আমাৰ opportunity বহুত বাঢ়ি যাব
So we have to look east and we have miles to go.
Yes.
Ms. Mehazbin.
Absolutely like along with that আমি চাব লাগিব যে access to education মানে ৰিম'ট এৰিয়াজতো এক্সেছ টু এডুকেশ্যন পাব লাগিব ল'ৰা ছোৱালীখিনিয়ে স্কুল যাবলৈ 5-6 কিলোমিটাৰ যাব নালাগে যেন গৈয়ে ওচৰে পাজৰে চবতে স্কুল
স্কুলটো
থাকিব লাগিব
হ'ব লাগে,
আৰু
right.
কোৱালিটি টিচাৰ্ছ থাকিব লাগিব
ৰাইট আচ্ছা সেইটোৱে আচ্ছা কওক
আমি চেলেঞ্জ হিচাপে নহ'লে অপৰচুনিটি হিচাপে লওঁ যেতিয়া যিবোৰ প্ৰত্যাহ্বান আহিব প্ৰত্যাহ্বানক যদি আমি অপৰচুনিটি হিচাপে আমি কাম কৰোঁ তেতিয়া নিশ্চয় আমি আগুৱাই যাব পাৰিম
Thank you, Dr. Bhuvan Chandra Borua, Ms. Mehzabin Rahman, and Mr. Jitendranath Das. Thank you for being a part of the show, and thank you all for your patient listening.